So, in this video, I want to finish with talking about Nike. I absolutely love the Nike brand. I had the honor of working with Nike in the early 2000s. I think it was like 2003, 2004, when I got headhunted by them, and they asked me to come on board with Nike Midnight Madness. Nike Midnight Madness was an experiential campaign that they did around basketball and Air Jordans. It was absolutely fantastic. And I got an insight into the world of Nike. And if you fast forward 20 odd years later, what I actually love about Nike is that they're still constantly innovating. Like, I could talk for hours about the Nike adverts, but I'm not going to do that. What I want to talk about is the things that Nike do in addition to their print advertising campaigns and their TV advertising campaigns. So what I want to talk about is not just the big billboard campaigns or the advertising campaigns, but I want to talk about some of the additional things that Nike do as a brand. So when I worked with them, it was all about experience marketing, which was really pushing the envelope back in 2003, 2004. Not everybody was doing experience marketing then. And now, 20 years later, Nike are really driving as a brand podcasting. They really are getting podcasting so well. What can we learn from their podcast? First of all, they have multiple podcasts. They invite the creme de la creme in culture to host their podcasts. And they have podcasts that are related to different product categories. So they have, for example, like Behind the Design as one of their podcasts. They also have Disruptor as another podcast. Like, they've got a podcast that I was watching the other day on YouTube that was all about powerful women and female empowerment. And they're so good at not doing a podcast that talks about product, but doing a podcast that talks about the essence of what makes that product special. So with Nike being about female and being about empowerment with their women's line, their podcast doesn't talk about the line at all. Their podcast really brings the most empowering women and talks about their life and their story, reinforcing the message, powerful woman empowers women, Nike. It's just absolute ingenious. So overarching, what can we learn? We can learn from Nike that you've got to keep innovating. You've got to keep pushing the boundary. You need to take what is happening and look at how you mold your brand onto it. So in 2003, when I worked with them, their experience marketing campaign was doing a basketball competition with a DJ and a nightclub environment. So it was literally hot guys playing basketball, competing, because you know I was having fun, right? I was in my 20s there. Hot guys having fun, playing basketball with a DJ. Air Jordans was the focus, and it was happening during the night. So they did that into the 2000s, and now you see in 2024, they're really driving the podcast. So I just want to encourage you, really think about how you can drive and push innovation when it comes to building your brand. Don't stick with the status quo, because if you stick with the status quo, you will fall behind very quickly. Well, that's it. That's the end of my kind of little series, decoding some of the biggest brands in the world. I want you to do me a favor, okay? Just before I completely pack up and have a cup of tea for the night, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click on the link, wherever the team have put it, and I want you to let me know, what brands do you want me to decode next? Who do you want me to talk about next? Do you want me to talk about Balenciaga as an example? Do you want me talking about when I worked with Rolls-Royce? Do you want me talking about some of the brands that I'm working with here in the Middle East? Like, what do you want me decoding next? And I promise you, on the next series, I will do that just for you. Until then, ciao.